Hello, today we check the homework together. So you have lots of questions for the homework, last homework. So we're gonna solving together. So question is find the value of each expression using given information. Alright, so example 2, exercise 2. So they give information which is cosine x will be 2/3. So we are looking for secant. Secant means 1 over cosine x, like reciprocal of cosine. So mean 1 over, so cosine x they given 2/3, right? So 2/3, which means 3 over 2. Okay, pretty simple, right? If you understand the secant cosine relationship between that. Alright, example 4. They given sine beta. Sine beta is negative 5 over 6. So how can you find cosecant? Cosecant also, that means 1 over sine beta, right? So sine beta, they given, which means 1 over negative 5 over 6, which means negative 6 over 5, right? First one, number 2 and number 4, just understand relationship between cosine and secant, sine and cosecant. Alright, number 6 looks a little different. This is secant pi will be 2, tangent pi square root 3. We're looking for sine pi. Alright, we should understand the relationship between that, same thing. So whatever they starting, maybe starting tangent. There's many ways you can approach, but if you try maybe this way. Alright, so tangent pi equal to what? Sine pi over cosine pi. From here, they're asking sine pi, so we sine pi and both sides times cosine pi, which means tangent pi times cosine pi. Simple algebra, right? But they given secant pi, right? So we did we change how they change. Tangent pi is the same, and times cosecant means 1 over secant, cosine means 1 over secant pi, right? And simply plug in. Tangent pi will be square root 3, and secant 1 over they given 2. So finally square root 3 over 2. Alright, that's the answer. Okay, so if you understand the relationship and plug in. Alright, number 8. Also secant. I think the problem of secant. Alright, secant theta will be 8. Tangent theta 3 square root 3 square root 7. In this case, they're asking cosecant. Alright, little different. But cosecant means what? 1 over sine theta. So we need to copy from the previous question here, right? So, or from here. Okay, that means tangent pi over secant pi, right? So we copy from here. So one more time, 1 over what? Tangent theta over secant theta, which means secant theta over tangent theta, right? So our cosecant means secant will be they given 8, and tangent also given 3 square root 7. Okay, rationalize this time. Square root 3, square root 7, numerator and denominator, times both sides, which means 8 square root 7 over 21. Right, that one. I think number 2 to 4, just memorize the formula, okay? Simple formula. And so simple formula like that. And number 6 and 7, this is a simple formula, but they do one more step because cosine will be 1 over secant, right? Also here, number 8 will be a little different. So number 8, and here secant, cosecant will be 1 over sine theta. This is different. So secant theta equal to secant of tangent. Okay, sorry. Cosecant will be 1 over sine. So cosecant theta means secant over tangent. Alright, looks like similar problem. Okay. Alright, next one. There's also same question, which means find the value each expression using given information. Alright, so there's given information. And find the cotangent and secant. Okay, so we should find out which quadrant they're talking about. So sine is positive, tangent is negative. Which quadrant? That will be quadrant here 2. So quadrant 2 or quadrant 2. Okay. So how it looks like if you quadrant 2, Pythagorean identity, yes, that we're talking about here. There is theta, and this is sine 1/3. So you know SOHCAHTOA, right? SOHCAHTOA, so SOHCAHTOA. So opposite and hypotenuse. So opposite will be here, opposite 1, and opposite and hypotenuse 3. Right? So using Pythagorean theorem, 3 and 1, which means this length 9 minus 1, which is square root 8, which means 2 square root 2. Alright? So we find triangle. Now find the cotangent theta. Cotangent theta means 1 over tangent theta. So what is that? Tau r. So 1 over opposite means 1, adjacent 2 square root 2, right? So it will be upside down, which means 2 square root 2. Okay, so that will be cotangent. So also we should find secant. But we should consider cotangent should be what? Negative, right? So suppose it's opposite. No, adjacent is negative. Suppose here negative and negative sign. Don't forget that. Alright, how about secant? Secant to theta will be 1 over cosine theta. 1 over cosine will be tau r. So negative 2 over 2 over 3. So negative 2 over 2 over 3. Right? So here you go. Negative 3, 2 over 2. And rationalize. Negative 3 square root 2 and 4. Okay. is. Alright, so first thing, you should know which quadrant, right? And you should drawing triangle like that, and you should find which one is negative number or positive number. Okay. Okay, exercise 12. So cosine theta 2/5, and sine is negative. So which quadrant? Sine negative will be quadrant 2, 3, and 4, right? So here sine and cosine positive, so it's quadrant 3 and 4, and cosine positive 1 and 4, so it should be 4. All right, so there will be quadrant 4. So Pythagorean theorem, we're going to use identity like that. So it will be theta. So they say the cosine 2/5, cosine 2/5, hypotenuse opposite 5, and adjacent will be here 2. Okay, so we should find opposite, which means square root should be going down negative, right? So 25, 5 square, subtract 2 square, 4 will be negative square root of 21. Alright. Okay, so what's the sine? Sine theta, hypotenuse is the 5, right? And opposite, negative square root of 21. Okay, and cotangent. Alright, cotangent to theta means 1 over tangent to theta, right? Tangent theta. So equal to 1 over how much tangent theta? Here you go. So negative square root 21 over 2, which is negative 2 over square root 21, and rationalize negative 2 square root 21 over 21. Okay, so what's the step? First of all, you should find which quadrant. Alright, let me point out. Okay, color. Okay, so find which quadrant, like quadrant 2, quadrant 4. First step, right? First step. And second step, find triangle. Because we're gonna using Pythagorean identity. This is Pythagorean identity, and find the sine, cosine, whatever they're asking. All right. 2 more questions. So this one same too, which means find quadrant first. Okay. So what's the question? Cotangent. Let me change the color first of all. Blue. Okay. So cotangent 8. Theta is 8. Cosecant is negative. So cotangent means tangent positive. Tangent positive means quadrant 1 and 3. And cosecant negative means 3 and 4. 4. So finally quadrant 3. Okay. So which means when drawing that and 3, the kind of triangle we're gonna use supposed to be here to be theta. Alright. So cotangent 8. So cotangent 8, right? So should be tangent opposite to r, right? Opposite and adjacent, these two number. But this is positive, supposed to be negative. So we guess, alright. So negative 1 and negative 8. Both sides supposed to be negative. Make it positive, right? And here, a squared 64 plus 1, which means square root 65. Okay, we find triangle. So first question, sine theta. Sine theta means should be here, opposite, -1 over square root of 65, and rationalize -65 square root of 65 over 65. Alright, and cosine, okay, cosine theta, same idea, -8 over square root of 65. Rationalize -8 square root of 65 over 65. Here. Alright, same step. Find the quadrant and trying to make a triangle because using Pythagorean identity, and find each value. Okay. Last question for today. So cosine theta -1/4 and sine theta is negative. Okay. Which quadrant cosine is negative? Quadrant 2 and 3. How about sine? 2 and 3. Oh, and yeah, no, sorry, 3 and 4. Okay. So, which quadrant? Suppose the quadrant 3. Oh, looks like same. Right. So, they give information cosine is -1/4. So we try to make a triangle. Hypotenuse always 4, right? Should be positive. And cosine so adjacent. So supposed to be here -1. So opposite should be both going down, which is negative, right? So 16 subtract 1, which means negative square root of 15. Alright. So we find quadrant, we find triangle here. Now tangent. Alright. So tangent theta will be 토와 so AA so OH opposite and adjacent. So -15 over -1, which is square root of 15. Okay, and cosecant theta means 1 over sine theta. The dimension sine is negative number. So anyway, plug in that. So 1 over sine theta will be -15 square root of 15 over 4, right? So negative square root of 15 over 4. So which means -4 over square root of 15, and rationalize -4 square root of 15 over negative 15. So like that. Okay, so you can see that, right? So do you understand that, right? So make sure, let me explain one more time. Change the color, sorry. Yes. Alright. So find quadrant, right? And drawing triangle. Looks like same quadrant 3. And depend on the value, you can find the sine, cosine, tangent, cosecant, secant, cotangent, whatever. Okay. So you should make sure that. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna give you more homework, so think about that. And if you have a question, let me know. I'm gonna explain more, or we can discuss together. Alright? So, thank you. Bye bye.